Okay, now let us look at an IP address. Okay, a format of an IP address. So generally, when you take an IP address, I mean an IPv4 address, I told you, right, IPv4 is 32 bits in length, so which is represented using dotted decimal notation. So this way of representing IP address is called as dotted decimal notation. And totally we will have 32 bits, and each and every octet is 8 bits. Okay, and out of these 8 bits, some part will be allocated for network, and some octets will be allocated for host. So that is how usually IP address are generally splitted. So you take any IP address will have network part and host part. So network part is the one that identifies the network to which the IP address belongs, and host part is the one that identifies the actual host, which is the machine. Okay, so this is how an IP address is used. So suppose for example, if I'm giving an example, hereafter I'll be using only the private IP address, because you know what is a private IP address, right? So here I'll be using only private IP address as an example. So 192.168.2.5. So let us take this example. So this is an IP address. So from this, what did you understand? It is a class C IP address. Is that right? Because the first octet value is 192, and this value belongs to a class C network. So it is 192. So it is a class C IP address. That was the first clue. And next, in class C, how many network bits and how many host bits? How many network octets and how many host octets? So in class C, the first three are network octets, and this one is host octet, right? So we have 24 bits for network and 8 bits for host. So this 192.168.2, this is the actual network to which the uh, IP address belongs to. So what will be the network address? That will be the very first address, that is 2.0. So this is the network address. Okay, and for this network, what will be the broadcast address? Obviously, the last IP address is going to be the broadcast address. So what will be the last IP address? So we have 192.168.2, which is a network address, and the IP the only changing value in this address is the last octet, right? The last value can range from 0, it can go till 255. So 255 will be the broadcast address. Okay, so 192.168.2. So all these IP address in between will have the same network address, and only these value is going to change. Only the value, only the host value is going to change in all the IP address. So it is going to start from 0, then 1, then 2, then 3. It will go on till 255. So the 0th address is the network address, the 255th address is the broadcast address, which is the last address. So in between you will have 254 usable IPs. Okay, so these IP address can be used, which can be allocated to any system. Okay, so this address .5 is one among these usable IP address, right? So what are the IP address? What are its neighbor IP address? So the neighbor IP address could be from 1 to 254. So in between we have this IP address 5. Okay, so if an IP address is given, just by looking at the IP address, you should be able to understand to which class does it belongs to, and what is the actual IP address, what is its network address. So what are the other devices that may be on the same network? So everything you will be able to understand just with the help of the IP address. Okay, and generally, this type of classification is called as classful subnetting. Okay, so understanding the IP address, just by looking at the first octet value, you should be able to proceed further. So this way of classifying the IP address is classful subnetting, but generally you will have only very simple topics here in case of classful networking. There is also one more topic called as classless subnetting that we will see later. Okay, so this is how we'll find out we will find out to which class does it belongs to, and what are the other IP address that is associated with this particular IP. So those kind of answers you will be able to find out from this uh, by looking at the IP address. Okay, and I told you, right, the value here, it always ranges from 0 to 255. How did we arrive at this value? Why not more than 255? So I told you that this for any octet the value is going to be from 0 to 255. Okay, not only for this octet, it could be for this, it could be for this, it could be for this. for any octet, the ranges is going to be from 0 to 255. Why is it that? Right? I'm going to take one octet as an example. Okay, let us take an IP address like this. Okay, I'm going to take one octet, one among the octet. Let me take this octet. Okay, so I told you that it is an octet. So octet is the 8 bits. So if you take this 8 bits and if you split this like this, totally 8 bits, right? So each and every bit is going to have a position value. The position value is 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 5, 6, 2 power 7. And what is 2 power 0? 2 power 0 is anything power 0 is 1. 2 power 1 is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. Okay, so these are the position values. Okay, and coming to this 8 bits. So what is the minimum possible value here in all these 8 locations? What is the minimum possible value? Minimum possible value could be all zeros, and the maximum possible value could be all ones. In between we have 7 zeros followed by 1, then 10, then 11, then 100, 101. Likewise it goes on. Okay, but the minimum possible value that is possible in these 8 bits is 0. Okay, so if you multiply 0 with 1, you will get 0. Again 0 with 128. So, and if you add everything together, you are going to get only 0. So 0 is the minimum value. What is the maximum possible value? It could be all ones, right? Because it cannot go beyond this. It is only 8 bits. So when it is 8 bits and all the bits are converted into 1, then that is the maximum possible value. So in that case, what would be the total value? So it is 1 into 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 4, 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. What you will get? 120 plus 64, 192. 190 plus 32, 224. 224 plus 16, 240. 248, 252, 254, 255. Okay, this is the maximum possible value. You understood? So for any octet, you take in case of IPv4 32-bit address, in any octet, the minimum possible value is 0, the maximum possible value is 255. You cannot go beyond this. So if at all, if you look at an IP address like this, 192.168.257.8, is this a valid IP address? It is not a valid IP address because,
No.
yeah, it is not a valid IP address because 255 is the maximum possible value in any octet, right? And that you have found out how. Okay, so that is how we got this 0 and 255. So generally what we do is when you take any IP address, I mean when you take any network address, in any network, the first address is going to be the network address, the last address is going to be the broadcast address. Is it clear? So that is how the first address and last address are being eliminated with the formula of -2. So the rest you will have it as a usable IP address. Okay, so we have seen the concept of IP address as well as the NAT. So we have understood that NAT is used for translating one group of IP address to another group, and we also seen how these IP addresses are formed. Is that right? Okay. Now I told you, right, the ISPs. Whenever you get the IP address, whenever you ask for an IP address, ISP, what they will do is they will do a subnetting. They will not give the IP address as such. They will do the subnetting, and one day after doing the subnetting, they will give you the IP address. Okay, and for doing the subnetting, every time when you do subnetting, you will lose some IP address as the network address and broadcast address. Okay, so that is why most of the IP addresses are getting wasted by subnetting them again and again. So we will see how the subnetting works actually. Okay, this is actually an introduction to classless subnetting. Okay, so classless subnetting. Okay, first let us take an example. I'm going to take 192.168.1.1. This is the network. This is an IP address which I'm going to use for classless subnetting. Okay. So from this, what did you understand? So to which class does this belongs to? This belongs to class C, correct? Because by the value in the first octet, which is 192, we have understood that it is a class C IP address. And for class C, we know that the subnet mask, the default subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.0 because it has got 3 network part and 1 host part. So for each and every network, we have to replace 255, and for host, we have to replace it as 0. Okay. So for this IP address, this is the subnet mask. This you should be able to write it down just by looking at the IP address. Okay. Now, I told you I have also shown you how to do how to find out the neighbor's IP address, all those things, right? So in case of 192.168.1.1, the network address would be 192.168.1.0. And what would be the broadcast address? The broadcast address obviously will be the last IP address, that is 192.168.1.255. And in between you will have 1.1, 1.2, and it will go on till 1.254. These are all the usable IP address. So here what we have did is we have not did anything. We have not done anything. Okay. All we have done is we have just find out what are the different usable IP address in this subnet. So let us see how to divide this network into 2 equal halves. Okay. I'm going to clear the screen. Now let me take this IP address, that is 192.168.1.1, and I have already found out that this IP address belongs to this network 192.168.1.0. So let us take the network address alone because the IP address is of no use for us. We have found out that this IP address 1.1 belongs to 1.0. That's it. Okay. Now let us see how to split this network into 2 halves or more than 2 halves. Okay. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this network into 2 halves, which means I have shown you that the network will have 254 usable IP address, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the number of usable IP address by dividing the network into 2. Okay. So I know that the default subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, but let me show you how this network changes and how the subnet mask changes. Okay. Let me take the last octet, this one. Okay, I'm going to take this last octet, 0. Okay, the last octet, not the value, the last octet. So the last octet is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, totally 8 bits, right? So what is the position value for this? 120, which we have already calculated. 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2. This you should be able to remember this. You should be able to remember this position values by heart. Okay. As a network engineer, you should be able to identify. You should be able to calculate these things on your mind itself. Okay. Now let me take. See this 192.160.1. It is a network address. Okay. We are not supposed to make any changes to this network. Let us keep this network address aside. All I'm going to do is I'm going to play with the host address. Okay. I have taken only the host part here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow 1 bit from the host. Okay. What will happen if I borrow 1 bit from the host? I'm going to borrow the first bit, this one. This alone is I'm going to borrow. Okay. So if I borrow, what will happen? The number of network bits will increase. Is that right? Because I already had 24 bits reserved for network already. Now I have borrowed 1 more bit from the host. Always know when you're borrowing from the host for the network, you should always borrow from the nearby bit. Okay. Similarly, if you borrow from the network part also, you should borrow from the nearby bit, which is located right next to the octet, right next to that particular octet. Okay, that is how you have to always borrow. Just keep in mind. Okay, now what I did is I have borrowed 1 bit from the host part. So now what will happen is I will have a network like this. Okay, so when I borrow 1 bit, this bit is borrowed and it is allocated to the network part. Okay, so what will happen to my network is my network will become like this. Okay, Earlier my subnet mask was 255.255.255. Now I have borrowed one bit. What is the position value for the particular bit? 128. So my subnet mask will become 128. So with subnet mask 128, it is understood that I have one more bit allocated towards the network. Okay. So what another thing happens here is when I borrow one bit, my network will get split into two. This is based on the formula 2 power n, number of bits borrowed. Okay. So 2 power 1 is 2, which means my network will get split into two. So what will be the next network? So the next network will be 192.168.1 dot. What is the position value here? 128, right? So that will be the next network address. Again, this network is also going to share the same subnet mask 255.255.255.128. Okay. So with this, if we calculate, see 0 is going to be the network address. What will be the broadcast address? We know that the next address, the next network starts at 128. So what will be the previous address? The previous address would be 192.168.1.127, which is the broadcast address, which we are not supposed to use, right? So in between, what address we will have? We'll have from 192.168.1.1 till 126. So these are the usable IP address. Okay. Now here, 192.16. So if you look at this here, the last address would be 192.168.1.255. Okay. So 128 is the network address, 255 broadcast address. So remaining eliminating those two, 129 to 254 will be the usable IP address. So if you look at this earlier, when we had this home network, okay, when we had this home network, we had only two IP address, that is wasted for network and broadcast. Now after subnetting, this network is split into two equal halves. So I have 126 IP address per network, but look at the wastage. The wastage is 4 IP addresses. Okay, 2 for this network and 2 for other network. Just imagine I'm going to apply the same concept for borrowing 2 bits. Okay, so 192.168.1.0 network. Subnet mask, we all know it is 255.255.255.0. What I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow 2 bits now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 128 position value 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. I'm going to borrow 2 bits now. So when I borrow 2 bits, what will happen to the subnet mask? The subnet mask is the first thing, the one that changes immediately. Okay, so the number of networks which I'm going to have now is based on the formula 2 power n. What is 2 power n? N is number of bits that has been borrowed. So 2 power n is 2 power 2, that is 4, which means you will have 4 networks. Earlier we had 2 networks, now we have 4 networks. Now let us see what are the IP address of each and every network. Okay. So what will be the subnet mask now? Subnet mask is going to be 128 plus 64 because you have borrowed 2 bits, right? 128 plus 64 is 192. So 192. So 192.168.1.0 will be the first network. Okay, and what is going to be the subnet mask? Subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255 dot sum of 128 plus 64, that is 192. Okay, so this is the first network. What will be the second network? Okay, so here I told you, right, the network is going to split into 4 equal halves, and always keep in mind the network will split based on the position value. Okay, whatever the position value that was that was present during the last split, that will be the number. That is how the network gets added. Okay, so here 192.168.1.0, next 192.168.1.64 will be the next network. Next 192.168.1.64 is 128. Then 192.168.1.192. This is how the network gets split. All these all these networks will have the same subnet mask, that is dot 192.192.192 and so on. So what will be the first IP address? 1.0 will be the first IP address. 1.64 will be the first IP address. 1.128, 1.192. What will be the last IP address? Here it is 1.63, because 64 is the next IP address for the next network. Okay, so 63 is the last IP address, which is the broadcast. Here 1.127. Here 1.191. Here 1.255. Okay, so if you look at the number of IP addresses that has been wasted, it is 2, 2, 2, 2, totally 8. So earlier we had a home network where only 2 IP addresses were wasted. Now we have 4 networks, but 8 IP addresses are wasted. And look at the number of IP addresses we have per network. So eliminating 0 and 63, it will be from 1 to 62. So again, 62 IP address per network. Earlier we had 254 IP address. Then we splitted that into 2, where we had 126, I believe, 126 IP address. Now we have 62 IP address. Again, when the ISP gives the IP address, when the ISP allocates the IP address to you, generally they will not give 62 IP address under your segment. What they will do is they will give only one IP address for you, right? So based on that, they will subnet further, which means they will be subnetting like this or this. Okay, they will try to have the least number of IP address wasted, or they will try to have, they will try to give you one IP address or the least number of IP address on your particular subnet. Okay, so that is how subnetting is done. So this is for class C. So similarly, if you go for class B, again, that will become a bigger one. So let us take an example, 172.16.1.0. I'm going to take this as an example. Okay, this is a class B IP address, and we know that the subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. So in this case, if I want to borrow the host bits, where I will borrow? Will I borrow in the last octet or in the third octet? I will always borrow from the one that is present right next to the network bit. Okay, not the other side. Okay, so here if I have to borrow the bits, I will have to work on this third octet. So when I do that, 172.16 dot, I will have this 8 bits followed by something. Okay, and I know that the subnet mask is 255.255, and if I borrow one bit from here, then my subnet mask will become 128.0, and if I borrow 2 bits, then it will become 192. Likewise, it goes on. Okay, so this is how you will do the subnetting for different classes, depending upon the number of IP address that is required. So when I took an example for class C, because 254 was the maximum number of IP address in that network, and if you don't want that many IP address, then you can go with 128 or with 62 or with 30 or 15. Likewise, it goes on. Likewise, it keeps on get reducing. Okay, in this case, in class B, what is the total number of host bits? It is 65,536 IP address, right? What will happen if you borrow one bit? It will become 2 per 15. 2 per 15 is some 32,000, 31,000 something. So next, if you borrow 3 bits, again it will become 15,000, then 7,000. Likewise, the number of network will get shrink. But on the other side, you will get more number of networks and less number of devices that can be connected within each and every network. So that is the concept of subnetting.